All right, Ward versus Kovalev. Winner turned out to be Andre Ward. Now, a lot of people were saying Kovalev was robbed. First and foremost, I just want to say I thought it was a draw, or at least Kovalev was going to edge it out by 1 point because of the knockdown he had in the second round. Now, before I get into the scoring or how I scored it or whatever, Ward, he's a better inside fighter than a lot of guys at his weight class. Every weight class he was in, he seems to be a better inside fighter. A lot of guys try to stay on the outside, use their power and their reach like Kovalev has. He has amazing power. He has amazing, good reach, really good reach. But on the inside, he's not as good. And if you close that distance, he's going to have trouble with you, especially if you move your head. But he is, I would say, an exceptional boxer. He's not a bad boxer at all. Power can get you really far in that sport, so can reach. But when you have some skill, movement, and timing like Kovalev does, you can catch people just like he caught Ward in the second round and knocked him down with that right hand. But back to what I was saying. A lot of people were saying this was one of the biggest... Hold on, let me fix this camera. It's leaning a little bit. But a lot of people were saying it's one of the biggest rivalries in boxing. I'm like, come on. We've seen plenty. But here's my thing. I thought it was tied, or I thought Kovalev was going to win it. Because from round 7 to 12, I had Ward edging out each and every one of those. It seemed like Kovalev was getting tired. It seemed like he was really getting tired. He was getting frustrated and tired without landing some clean, hard shots on Ward to really hurt him. But I forgot the fourth round. Awarded that to Ward. And with that, I'm like, oh, okay, he won by 1 point. Now, I think people get really confused. When it's unanimous decision, that means all three judges, all three scorecards, a person won. That does not mean, unanimous decision does not mean a person won every single round, or there weren't any close matches. Just because somebody turns in and say, oh, well, he edged out these 6 and this fourth round, there you go. Because the judges scored it the same way I did. I was very surprised to see that every judge did. I thought it was going to be a split decision. If it was a split decision, I think people still would have said Kovalev got robbed. But every time they say unanimous, I mean, there's 3 people up there that thought the same way. That happens a lot. I mean, you get 3 judges from different places. And I heard all the judges were from the United States. I'm like, man, now you know that was going to be fishy if Ward won, especially a unanimous decision, especially if it was close and it wasn't convincingly. Now, Ward knocked Kovalev down. I can see a lot of people saying, okay, yeah, he edged it out. He tied it up with the knockdown. People would have been saying, oh, I think it was a tie. I just think. When you dominate early in the early rounds, people already got you winning. And if each round is close, it can go either way. That means some people want to say, oh, yeah, he won that. Or this person won that. If you didn't totally dominate and just look what Mayweather did with Canelo. He dominated each one of those rounds. I mean, Canelo would land a jab here and there, but he dominated. And when that happens and it's not close rounds, you automatically going to say, oh, this person won. About time to get to the 12th round, this person won. But I was on Twitter the whole time I was watching the match, and a lot of people were saying, oh, Ward needs a knockdown in this 12th round to win. Some people were saying if he wins this 12th round, he wins it. You know, I mean, it's going to be very split. I expected this match to go that way when I looked at my scorecard, and then also when all 3 of the judges scored it the same way. I'm like, uh-oh, people going to want a rematch. I thought a rematch was going to happen anyway. But I'm like, people want a rematch. It's one thing. People respect power in that sport more than anything else, more than skill. They do. If you have amazing power and you don't have any skill, but you're winning, they'll be like, oh, he's the greatest. They will say that. I'm telling you. Now, if you have amazing skill but have no power and you're winning, especially by points, we saw that with Mayweather. We saw it when Herrera, went up against Danny Garcia. Herrera outboxed that boy that whole match. But people respect power. It's just, like I said, people will respect power more than skill in that sport. That's going to happen. That happens. You know what I mean? But like I said, I thought it was going to be a draw. I thought Kovalev was going to edge it out. But because of that 4th round that I awarded to Ward, I was like, oh, okay. Well, he won on my card by 1 point. 1 point. You know what I mean? And it just so happened 3 judges saw it the same way. I don't think any judge gave him rounds 2 and 3. I didn't even give him round 3. He did a lot better in 3 than he did in 2. Well, 2, it was the knockdown, really. After the knockdown, Kovalev pretty much had that whole match. Ward was being very cautious and careful. But that's just how I scored it. You know what I mean? I forgot about that 4th round. I looked at it like, oh, I gave him the 4th round. Oh, he won on my card. But I was sitting back like, oh, the judges probably not going to see it like that. And when they did, I was surprised. You know what I mean? It's just because you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what they saw. Now, there's going to be a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are Ward fans. They like Ward more. They had him winning before the match happened and then said that Kovalev won the match. This is boxing, man. This is boxing. I don't even watch boxing too much more anymore. I watch UFC more now, but that's boxing. I mean, even in UFC, I've seen some decisions where I was like, "What? That guy won," but I don't know what to tell you. That's just the way it went. If you look at it round by round, 7th round to 12th, Ward edged those out. You can't even argue. If some people say, oh no, I got Kovalev winning 2 of those, I can see your argument. I can see your argument because it was a really close match. Each one of those 7th rounds were close. I just had Ward winning it because I felt like he was in control more. You know what I mean? I got to look at the punch stats again. Yeah, I should have done that. I meant to do that. But being on Twitter and seeing what my friends are writing on Facebook distracted me. But I got to look at this punch stats again. But like I said, Ward was in more control. It seemed like Kovalev was frustrated, getting tired, and he was trying harder to win, and Ward was just doing what he had to do to win each round. I mean, that's the way I saw it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be biased. I am more of a Ward fan than I am Kovalev, but that's just the way that I saw it, to be honest with you. Boxing, that's how it happens. Nothing in this world is perfect. Unless you straight up knocking somebody out cold, people will think you won a match. Like I said, there's people, there's videos on YouTube, people arguing that Canelo beat Mayweather. You got to remember, one of those judges said that match was a draw. Please watch that match, round by round, and it happens. But whenever there's a unanimous decision and people think otherwise of that unanimous decision, they go, oh my God, they didn't win unanimously. I mean, according to the judges, they did. Now, you wouldn't have been mad if one judge gave him like the match by 1 point, but since all 3 did, you guys are looking at it like it's a conspiracy. No, just by chance. 3 people can see the same thing. I thought Ward won. I'm pretty sure 3 other people did. And if we thought it was a close win and we just happened to be the judges, you guys are going to be looking at it like, you guys don't know boxing. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not true. This is just the nature of the sport. I had him winning, especially since I gave him the 4th round. If I didn't give him that, he would have lost, but he did on my card. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Ward versus Kovalev. I would like to see a rematch. I would. It was fantastic. It was a good match. It was a good match. It wasn't boring at all. It was good and it was close. And that's good enough for boxing, I believe. Anyway, like the video if you like the video. If you don't like the video, dislike it. Leave some comments, share, and subscribe. See you next time.